In the midst of Trump dodging bullets, Kamala dodging interviews, and Biden, well, dodging the coffin, here we have it. Joe Rogan, a very popular podcaster in this YouTube space, has finally come around to choosing his side. And if you know anything about Joe Rogan, he has an extremely large audience, and this is huge. This is just showing you and really opening up everybody's eyes that more and more people are joining the Trump train and seeing that Biden and Kamala don't really care about you. So we're here to get into this video. Shout out to the liberal hive mind. And as always, welcome to the King Squad. This is the best reaction channel on YouTube. And I hope each and every single one of you guys is having a great and awesome day at whatever time you guys are watching this video. I apologize for my, slight absence, okay? YouTube wouldn't let me post. I have a plethora of situations going on, but we're back. My audio is still a little fuzzy. I'm working on that in the background, so I apologize. But thank you for your patience. Let's get right into it.
Folks, so this popped up on my timeline, and it's what inspired this video. Take a look.
One of the things that people are so excited about with this Trump union with Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy is that you're having these movements that seem to be almost impossible to achieve outside of an outsider, like the Make America Healthy Again concept. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to go up against these companies that have been donating to these political parties forever and have allowed them to have these regulations that are allowing them to have these dyes in food that's illegal in our neighboring Canada? Like, what? This is no one's done that before, right? So that's very exciting.
Okay, so, to me, that seems like something to be truly excited about. That seems like something that should generate legitimate, authentic excitement. Not this phony Kamala nonsense, this fake, exaggerated, manufactured excitement for a career politician with a pretty abysmal, pretty pathetic record. What's more exciting? The possibility of electing actual anti-establishment candidates? A unity ticket that's making incredible promises on such an important issue such as our health? That, or Kamala Harris just simply existing on a stage with Megan Thee Stallion gyrating her booty? What is more exciting to you? I mean, what is more genuine?
Yeah, Kamala is not for the people, okay? She does not care about us. None of her policies are for Americans, okay? And like we stated before, voting for Kamala is a big middle finger to everybody and the entire country as a whole, okay? It's nuts.
And most importantly, substantive. I think the answer is clear. Seeing stuff like this gets me freaking excited.
This is what most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way. Until the early 1990s, our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared to the highest of any developed country on earth. Same with infant mortality. Like the frog in the slowly boiling water, we didn't really notice as we got sicker and sicker. We've grown now to accept chronic disease conditions as normal. But now, in 2024, we're finally waking up to this cataclysm, and we're asking ourselves, how in the world did this happen? Well, a big part of it is our diet. Restaurants that serve contaminated food are fined or shut down. But when it's the government that approves the poisons in our food, a few people get very, very rich, and the toxins end up in every supermarket aisle. Let me show you what I mean. Doritos, cheese.
I just want to state right there, what he just said about the government, okay? The government is not for us, all right? For the liberals that watch, okay, yeah. For the people that are new here, the government is definitely not for us. They do not care about us, okay? And pretty much with the government, it's like the government does not make money. They take money. On top of that, all right, more government control means like we're just ushering in communism at that point. Communism, socialism, all that kind of stuff. And then your life, it just sucks completely, okay? You picture the Matrix, but like not in the Matrix. Like when they were like near Zion, all right, it's a movie reference. Some people won't get it, but yeah, it was trash. That's pretty much that's what happens when you allow the government to just control everything. It gets garbage. Robots try to take over. It's nuts.
It's Captain Crunch, gummy bears, Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tartrazine, or yellow dye number 5. What you may not know is that this dye was originally made out of the sludge that's left over when you turn coal into coke for blast furnaces. It's called coal tar, and I've actually sued many big industries for legacy contamination of coal tar all around the country because it's so toxic and it's so harmful to the environment and human beings. A century ago, it was just an obnoxious industrial byproduct that everybody was trying to figure out ways to get rid of. One of the ways that they did that was by paving roads. But then a British chemist figured out that the coal tar could be used to derive fabric dye. And if fabric dye, why not food? Food manufacturers began using it to cover up the discoloration of low-quality foods that they wanted to pass off on unsuspecting customers. They didn't know back then that this yellow dye, tartrazine, causes tumors, asthma, developmental delays, neurological damage, ADD, ADHD, hormone disruption, gene damage, anxiety, depression, intestinal injuries. Well, we know it now. We've known this for decades. That's why tartrazine is heavily restricted in other countries. In some countries, foods with tartrazine have a warning label that it may cause ADHD in children. Today, it's made from petroleum, not coal tar. Either way, it's crazy to add this to your kids' favorite foods. It doesn't even change the flavor. This yellow dye isn't just a junk food. It's in the foods that we consider healthy. It's in the everyday kid snacks like popcorn, mac and cheese, fruit snacks. It's in sports drinks like Gatorade and so-called vitamin water. It's even added to chicken broth, to corn, to pickles, to mustard, and to yogurt. And so, of course, our kids get sick. And we lovingly feed them chewable vitamins which have, surprise, tartrazine. And so the cycle continues until the coughs and asthma kick in, at which point you go to pick up some cough syrup. And yeah, you guessed it, tartrazine. I've been picking on tartrazine today, but that's just one of at least 100 chemical poisons that our health agencies allow into our children's food. I can make a video just like this to talk about Red 40, BHA, BHD, potassium bromate, chemical after chemical, and on and on and on. If just one of them can cause all of these problems, imagine what they're doing in combination. That has never been studied. If we took all of these chemicals out, our nation would get healthier immediately. We'd have fewer sick days. We'd have better focus. We'd have less anxiety. Our kids would learn more easily. We'd lose weight. We'd have more energy. We'd have fewer tumors and longer lives. It's not all dark. Over the past 16 years, the government has banned 8 chemical additives that cause cancer, genetic damage, asthma, and many of the other health conditions as tartrazine does. And you know what's interesting? All 8 of those crucial steps forward in our kids' health were taken under President Trump. But the Democrats who claim to be all about health care have stood by watching other countries ban these poisons and make our kids sick, asthmatic, hyperactive, and depressed. They left them on every supermarket shelf in America. They even used your tax money to put them in your kids' school lunch. So their big food and their big ag donors probably gave them all that golden handshake and the big money hug. And their big pharma donors probably called them up and thanked them also, because now they're going to make billions selling Adderall, Prozac, and rescue inhalers. Enough is enough. President Trump and I are going to stop the mass poisoning of American children. Together, we're going to make America healthy again.
Wow. That was beautiful.
It's a conversation that needs to be had. Joe Rogan is absolutely right to highlight how refreshing it is to finally see politicians like Trump, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard take a stand against the grip that big food corporations have on Washington. I mean, it may sound hyperbolic, it may sound extreme, but these companies have been poisoning our food supply for years as they hide behind massive lobbying efforts to manipulate regulations in their favor.
I just want to say, too, just really quick, you don't see Kamala talking about any of this. Like, Democrats do not care about this stuff, huh? And I'm not saying that they don't care about their kids necessarily, but then that's also debatable. But You just don't see anything where Tim Walz or Kamala Harris is talking about, we're going to make America healthy again and we're going to help the kids. And we want the kids to just enjoy their childhood and be kids, and boys will be boys and girls will be girls on some Mr. Rogers type stuff. You don't really see that. You see them trying to create transformer sanctuaries and transition these kids and turn them into science projects and dissect the kid on a cold metal table. That's what you see from Tampon Tim rocking back and forth with a light flickering. And then you see Ku Klux Kamala trying to just delete all of America and all of our principles and values and just usher in, the avalanche of just policies that will wreck us completely. So that's what I see from the left. I don't see them talking about anything that's actually beneficial for us and the future of America. So, yeah, let's go.
And the fact that we now have politicians that are willing to challenge this corrupted system, well, it's a huge step forward in exposing how deeply compromised the establishment is. I mean, the Democrats, on the other hand, they love to posture as if they care about health and the well-being of the public, particularly children. Ooh, the kids. But their actions tell a different story now, don't they? They claim to be champions of healthy living, as seen with Michelle Obama's school lunch initiative. Instead of tackling the real issue at the heart of our food supply, Democrats push emotional appeals to distract from their hypocrisy. They act as though they're the protectors of public health, yet their policies often benefit the very corporations that they claim to oppose. They're in bed with big food, just like they're in bed with big pharma. These corporations are pouring millions into their campaigns, which of course ensures one thing, that Democrats won't actually take these issues seriously. But obviously one thing is clear here, and that's that Trump is a different animal. Trump is different entirely. He's not controlled by these big corporate interests. He's proven that he's willing to go after the establishment, including the food and agricultural sectors that have been untouchable for so long. Something that will never happen with Kamala Harris, because Democrats are all talk and no walk. The rhetoric may sound good, but when you dig deeper, you see that it's all smoke and mirrors. They've turned a blind eye to the fact that America's obesity epidemic, especially among children, is driven by the same corporate giants who push highly processed additive foods into every corner of the market. And it's always the same hypocrisy. Oh, the rich, down with the rich, tax the rich, eat the rich. But they're the party of the rich. They're the party of Wall Street and Silicon Valley, the party of elite university-educated high earners. They claim that they're the party that's going to take on big pharma, but they're in the freaking pocket. Just look at what happened during the pandemic. Again, the same actors, right? Joe Rogan, RFK Jr., people promoting health, making good personal health decisions, and how important that was to maintaining a strong immune system. I mean, that's quite relevant in the midst of a pandemic, but of course Democrats didn't want to have that conversation. They just wanted big pharma to benefit to the tune of billions. I mean, their hypocrisy on these issues is frankly astounding. Again, they claim to care about public health, yet they've done very little to address the root causes of the obesity crisis, which is directly linked to the toxic, high-processed foods flooding the market thanks to big food corporations. It's so obvious what's happening, it's so obviously corrupt. They don't want to solve these problems, they want to subsidize these problems. Of course, because when government's involved in subsidizing a problem, government becomes more powerful, and their corporate allies stand to benefit tremendously. I mean, let's have a conversation about universal healthcare, for instance. On the surface, it sounds like a noble goal. Everyone's taken care of. Or it's free healthcare, as some people describe it. Totally ridiculous, considering you're likely going to be paying more in taxes for crappier healthcare. But anyways, let's dig deeper into the actual hypocrisy. It becomes clear that Democrats aren't interested in fixing the actual problem. Part of that problem, obviously, is the terrible state of our food supply driving the obesity epidemic, but instead of tackling big food corporations and preventing people from getting sick in the first place, they'd rather expand government and create more government programs to manage the symptoms. Why solve the crisis when you can subsidize it? The healthcare and pharmaceutical industries stand to make billions as more and more Americans fall victim to diet-related diseases.
Yeah, because with them, it's not a matter of healing you. It's a matter of maintaining you, okay? It's never like, oh, change your diet up, take a walk, go outside. That's usually the stuff that I push over here because, that stuff is actually beneficial for you. Like, if we were, like, in, like, the Garden of Eden or something like that, that's kind of what we'd be outside doing, just out and about, just being humans. But we don't really do that, okay? And they don't really push that to you. They don't say, hey, have you eaten a banana today? If you're not allergic to bananas, of course. Hey, have you eaten any vegetables today? Did you eat any salmon, any steak, something healthy? Instead, they kind of just say, here, I'm going to just put you on these pills and take this shot, okay? And it's like, you keep coming back. It's crazy.
like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease, which of course the Democrats want you to subsidize. I don't know about you guys, but just going back to what I said in the intro, it's obvious to me that one side is genuine and the other is not. There's one team, let's call it Team Unity, that's genuinely got me excited. They're talking about things that regular politicians wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Meanwhile, the other side wants you to be excited simply because Kamala Harris is a black woman, who celebrities seem to be very fond of. I don't know, like I usually say, just make your own opinion. I've stated mine. Anyways.
So there we have it. Shout out to the liberal hive mind with this clip. Again, thank you for your patience with my audio. I am working on this setup. I got a new setup, so that's that. But yeah, you know, there were some things that I really wanted to touch on as far as like the whole tax the rich thing. I always thought that was kind of like ridiculous because I have family that would even say, yeah, let's tax the rich. I'm like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because if you think about it, a lot more times than not, they're just going to move their money around. Like people that are rich are just going to move their money around. Like they're going to protect their money. There's going to be things in place to protect the wealth, protect the riches. That's just how it works. Okay. But you know, when you vote for that kind of stuff and then you vote in these policies, the policies are like, you know, daggers to you and poisonous at that. Then you vote for them and they come in and then boom, there goes the middle class, just battleship. Boom, explosion. Yep. And it's just it now you're struggling. Now everything's expensive. Now everything is super high priced. And now it's like, dang, man, what is going on in the White House? Okay, who is running the country? Okay. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Oh, let's tax the rich. Kamala's going to fix the economy, but Biden's the one who wrecked it. And then, oh yeah, Kamala's a black woman. We're finally gonna have a black woman in charge. She's not even black. Lie right there. And it's just a plethora of issues. And I really think it's designed to just really play off like simpletons. That's kind of how it strikes me. It's just like a design to like for the people that don't pay attention to the economy and then they just wonder why life is expensive and then they pay attention like the last 3 months of the election. Yeah, it's designed to like trick those people. That's kind of how it strikes to me. But you guys let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all your support. Finally back on YouTube. Okay, I had a lot of issues going on. But besides that, we're out of YouTube prison, so there's that. Thank God. And yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I do have a new setup as well, so I am working on cleaning up my audio, but I just wanted to still get some content out, let you guys know, yes, we are alive. Yes, we're pushing forward. And 200,000 subscribers before December. So that's that. As always, stay blessed, stay prosperous. Hope everybody's drinking their water and making their money legally. No, this is not financial advice. Stay blessed. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Peace.